Welcome dear students. So last class we have seen the example up to 5. Now the book back exercise, that is the sixth question we are going to see. Look at the question. The hydrogen atom is initially at ground level. Then the hydrogen atom is excited to a higher level of 4. Okay. At the time, what happens? Again it will be come back to ground state. So when this exited atom immediately coming to the ground state, it emits some energy. Okay. So calculate the amount of energy absorbed by the photons from the ground level to the X-ray level, also the frequency and wavelength in this case. So three things we are going to find. First one, from the ground state to the X-ray state, the photon then absorbs the energy. No? So what is the energy absorbed by the photon? Moreover, the frequency and the corresponding wavelength you are going to determine. So initially, we know the question. Initially, hydrogen is at ground level. Initially, hydrogen atom is at ground level. Okay, so when it is at the ground level, that is n is equal to 1. Okay, so what is the energy in this level? So energy in this level is, we know the energy of the hydrogen atom, total energy of the hydrogen atom, that is En is equal to minus 13.6 by n square electron volt. This is a formula. So at the initial conditions, the hydrogen atom is in the ground level, so that is n is equal to 1. So substitute here. So E1 is equal to minus 13.6 by 1 square electron volt, which is equal to 1 square. Similarly, the hydrogen atom then absorbs the energy and then goes to 4. Okay. Now, when n is equal to 4, energy in this level is energy in this level is, that is E4 is equal to minus 13.6 by 4 square electron volt. Okay. But what they ask in the questions, calculate the amount of energy absorbed by the photon. So the amount of energy absorbed by the photon is E is equal to difference in the energy level. That is final to initial. So E is equal to, what is E2? That is E2 is nothing but the final level. No? So E4. So here we consider this E4 minus E1. So minus 13.6. So the value is minus 13.6. What is the 4 square value? It is 16. So minus 13.6 by 16 electron volt minus E1 value. You know what is E1? Minus 13.6 electron volt. Okay, so we can rearrange it. Minus 13.6 is a common, so minus 13.6 is a common and electron volt. Then remaining will be 1 by 16 minus 1 or plus 1. What we will get? So electron volt we take as a common. So minus 13.6 into 1 by 16. Minus and minus become plus. No. So this value is plus. Okay. So in the both the terms you will take 13.6 as a common value. So what you will get? 13.6 electron volt, take it as a common. Remaining minus 1 by 16. Then plus 1. So the value minus 13.6 only you take it as a common. No? So there is some changes. Wait. Minus 13.6 and minus and minus become plus. Yes. So 13.6 is a common value. It's electron volt you're taking as outside. So minus 1 by 16 plus 1. By doing cross multiplication, 13.6 electron volt into minus 1. Doing cross multiplications, the value is 16 by 16, which is equal to 13.6 electron volt into 15 by 16. So we got the final value Final values. So these final values, the electron will be converted into joule. So 13.6 into 15 by 16 electron volt, and the 1 electron volt value we know that. What is the value of 1 electron volt? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So the energy value we converted after simplifications. The final value is 20.4 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So this is the energy value we got it. Okay, the amount of energy value we got it. The next case we are going to find the frequency and wavelength. In the next case we are going to find the frequency and the wavelength. For frequency value, we know the energy of photons. Energy of photon, that is E is equal to h nu. So from this we can find the frequency. So frequency is mu is equal to E by h, that is energy by Planck's constant. What is the energy? Already we found it, 20.4 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule divided by Planck's constant values 6.64 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. So joule cancel. 1 by second become h no. So after simplification, finally we got the frequency value. The frequency value is 3.1 into 10 to the power 15 hertz. Okay, so this is the frequency in that case. So frequency we got it. Next we are going to find the wavelength. What is the wavelength formula? We know the relations. C is equal to nu lambda. We know that C is equal to nu lambda, or lambda is equal to C by nu. What is the C? It's the speed of light. The speed of light is the product of frequency and wavelength. No? Yes, from the relation you can get the wavelength. So wavelength is equal to reciprocal of the speed of light and the frequency of the photons. So the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second divided by frequency value we got it. So 3.1 into 10 to the power 15 hertz. Hertz means 1 by second, no? 1 by second. So both get cancelled. Okay. So after simplifications, finally the value is 9.74 into 10 to the power minus 8 meter, or 97.4 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter, or we can say this as 97.4 nanometer. So this is the wavelength in that case. Okay. So I repeat the question once again. Initially the hydrogen atom is in the ground level. Okay. Then it is exited to the higher level of 4. Okay. So in this case, calculate the energy of calculate the amount of energy absorbed by the photon, and also find the frequency and the wavelength. So first in the ground state you are finding the energy value, that is E1, and the exit level you are finding the energy value, that is E2. So the amount of energy absorbed by the photon is difference in the energy level. So by taking the difference you will get the energy value, and the energy value being electron volt, you are going to convert it into joule. Okay. So this is the final energy value. From the energy value, easily we can determine the frequency from Planck's energy of the photon and the wavelength from the speed of the light. Okay. Next we are moving to 7th question. Okay. The 7th question. Using Bohr model, calculate the speed of electron in hydrogen atom when n is equal to 1, 2, 3. In this 3 level, we are going to calculate the speed of electron in a hydrogen atom in a Bohr's model. So when n is equal to 1, velocity in the first level, and velocity in the second level, and then the speed in the third level. So these 3 values we are going to determine. Okay. So how do we find? We know the Bohr radius. What is the Bohr radius formula? According to Bohr radius, R is equal to E square by 4 by epsilon naught into mv square. Okay. So this is the formula. So we can also write it as E square by 4 by epsilon naught into mv into v. So this radius and the velocity both you transfer mutually. So velocity is equal to E square by 4 by epsilon naught into mv r. But according to second postulates of the Bohr second postulates, mv here is an angular momentum. So what is an angular momentum? Angular momentum is some integral multiples of h to 2 pi. Okay, so this is a velocity formula. So here we can rearrange this. 2 pi and 4 pi become 2. So finally the velocity value is e square by 2 epsilon naught nh. So we got the velocity. This is the speed. Not only the velocity, also it's the speed. So from the solution we got the speed. So speed of electron is in hydrogen atom of Bohr model, that is V is equal to, this is a common formula, e square by 2n epsilon naught into h. Okay, this is the formula. Here the three levels, when n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3. In each level, what are the different speed? Okay, when n is equal to 1, the speed is, that is v1 is equal to e square by 2 into 1 into epsilon naught h. So it becomes e square by 2 epsilon naught h. So what is the e? It's the charge of an electron. The electron charge is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 the whole square divided by 2 into permittivity in free space. Okay, it is 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 34 into Planck's constant value, 6.64 into 10 to the power minus 34. So after rearranging all that, values, okay, final velocity in this first level is 2.18 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. Okay, similarly we can determine the velocity in the second level. So when n is equal to 2, then the speed v2 is equal to, what is the common formula? E square by 2 into epsilon naught h. So 2 into 2 become 4. So 4 epsilon naught h. After substituting all the value, the final speed would be 1.09 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. Similarly, at third level, when n is equal to 3, the speed would be e square by 2 into n epsilon naught h. Now n is speed. So 2 into 3 into epsilon naught h, which is equal to e square by 2 3s are 6 epsilon naught h. So the final value would be 7.27 into 10 to the power 5 meter per seconds. So these are the speed of an electron in different levels. Okay, so one step over. So A division is over. In this question, two divisions we have. In the first divisions, we are going to calculate the speed of an hydrogen atom in each level. Level 1, level 2, level 3. So each level we are calculating the speed. So we'll write the value separately in the corner. So first level, the speed is 2.18 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second, and in the second level the speed is 1.09 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second, and in the third level the speed is 7.27 into 10 to the power 5 meter per second. So when level is increasing, gradually you can notice the speed is reducing. Okay, so the next one, in each case we are going to calculate the time period of orbital electron. So first case over. In the second case, we are going to calculate the speed in each level. So case B. So the time period of orbital electron. Time period of orbital electron in each case. So we know the time period and velocity relation. Time period is equal to, what is time period? 2 pi r by v no. So for the first level, 2 pi r1 by v1. Okay. So already we know the value of r. But the radius, orbital radius is n1 square h square epsilon naught divided by v1 me square. Okay, So this is the orbital radius. So substitute the orbital radius in this case. Then T1 is equal to 2 pi into n1 square h square epsilon naught divided by v1 me square. So it's all constant. So n1 it's a 1 square, pi it's a 3.14, Planck's constant, permittivity in space. Velocity already we found it, substitute the velocity here. This is the mass of an electron, this is charge of an electron, the whole square. After substituting all this value and simplifying, we will get the time period. It is equal to 1.527 into 10 to the power minus 16 seconds. So this is the time period in the first orbital level. Similarly, second period, same formula. So 2 pi into n2 square h square epsilon naught divided by V2 and M2. So this 2 alone differs. Okay. So here 2 square, here the value of velocity is already we got it. Okay. So after substituting all this, the final value would be 1.22 into 10 to the power minus 15 seconds. Similarly, the time is reducing in the third level. So the velocity and time is inversely proportional, no? But velocity in each level is decreasing. Similarly, the time is gradually, what happened to time? Time is increasing. Okay. So next case, 2 pi into n3 square h square epsilon naught divided by v3 and the me power me square. So this 2 alone differs. So after substituting all the constant value, the final time period would be 4.12 into 10 to the power minus 15 seconds. So these are the time period of the orbital electrons in each levels. Okay, it's a very simple concept. So what is the question? Using Bohr's model, calculate the speed of electron of an ionized metal in each level. So the speed formula we get from the radius. After finding the velocity, that is the speed in each level, we are going to calculate the time period, because this is a formula. Velocity is equal to displacement by time. So time is equal to displacement by velocity. The displacement is total circumference of the circle, and that is orbital radius, orbital path, 2 by r by v. Okay. So remaining questions you can practice of your own. The last 2 questions already we have found, like satellite questions. The example we are so satellite of mass 10 kg revolving in the orbit. So in which orbit it is? So same like the methods you are going to solve it. That is from the Bohr's second pass slides. How will you solve the questions? That is angular momentum mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi, but you want to find the quantum number. What is the quantum number n? So quantum number n is equal to 2 pi m vr divided by h. So it's all constant. Okay. And these are all constant, remaining alone variable. So according to the mass and the velocity is given and the radius also given, then you can get the quantum number. It comes in some 10 powers. Okay. So other questions you practice of your own. Thank you.